everybody, and welcome to Player 2 special presentation. I'm here with a special guest today. My name's Matt Houston. I'm the editor of Player 2, as you all know me. Here with me is Jeremy Howell. He is here for a special reason, and we're going to get to that in a second. First, this is all promoting the Terry Campese Player 2 Charity Marathon. So we're here to raise money for the Terry Campese Foundation. And with that in mind, I thought it'd be nice to sit down and play some video games with some key members of the foundation and some of the competitors in the Special Forces Challenge. So first up, we have a friend of the foundation, long-time board member, shit kicker, general, dog's body, Jeremy Howell. How you going, mate?
Good, mate. Thanks for having us.
No worries, no worries. Now, I'm just going to ask you a few questions. You just run with it, be honest. Don't swear at me too much. But
Trying my best.
First, who are you and why are you here?
I'm Jeremy Howell, as you stated, and I grew up with Terry. We went to school together, and then when he come back from England, I was doing some fundraising on my own, and then he asked if I wanted to help you guys out, and I couldn't be happier.
Excellent. So, I guess for you, what does it mean to be involved in the foundation, and what do you see? I mean, it's obviously a very local cause, so I mean, we both get to see the results of what happens, and
yeah, well, I didn't grow up bad, but I didn't grow up with much money. So with the stuff we do with the kids, I have a big, I know where they're coming from, because I was on the border of that myself. So I had separated parents, and so things were hard. And as you know, back in the 80s and early 90s, it was hard for single parents. But by doing it with the kids, I found a way of, I don't know, helping where maybe a few kids can do it a little bit better than what I did.
Yeah, awesome. All right then. Well, let's start some games. We picked Ninja Turtles because it's about Jeremy's skill level, and he just has to button mash. So grab your controller, Jess, and we'll keep talking while we're playing.
I'm actually
we're only going to do this for like 10 minutes because I don't want to embarrass Jeremy too much.
until I carve him up.
So we're going to play Ninja Turtles. Let's go.
Let's just note, everyone, that he has not told me what any button does.
No one needs any buttons.
And I'm going in
it's
blind.
all good. So here we go. We'll start and we'll pick your character. So
I'm Leonardo Michelangelo.
There you go. Who do you pick? You can pick anyone.
I'm Michelangelo.
Okay, you can be Michelangelo. Press your A button. Okay.
I know where A is now.
Yeah, you know where it is. You're good. Excellent. Look at this.
It vibrates and everything.
As we go. All right. We're going to start some Ninja Turtles. But while we're playing, we're going to keep on talking.
Yeah.
So, some of the big things you've done with the foundation, obviously you've done the couple of the treks.
Yep.
What was it like to go on the treks with those kids?
Well, it started for me as a mentor. I started in January, and we had 8 kids, local kids from Queanbeyan. I did the Queanbeyan side of things, me and another lady, and by the time we got on the trek, I had a relationship with these kids, and I thought, I've got the best out of them.
Yep.
Then we went on the trek for 2 weeks, and they blew my mind how good they improved. What we did in 6 months, they did all that in 2 weeks on the trek.
That's amazing.
It was phenomenal. We're playing.
We're playing. We're in. So just press your X button. And A's jump, X is hit.
Oh, bang, back them back
and
up.
We just have to bash these guys.
Yeah, so when we're on the track, these kids who I thought were doing great already excelled even further.
Yeah.
And when I reflecting back on it, I was like, this works. This really does change people's lives. And I was just glad that I could be part of it, not only through the fundraising and that, but actually with the mentoring, because as you know, no one would ever probably pick me as a mentor. But, I enjoyed it, and I got just as much out of it as the kids did, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I learned from them. I'm getting bashed here.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll cover your ass.
I just knocked 3 of them out. Yeah, and they taught me things as well, and just watching them. And now I see a lot of them we hit you. I see a lot of the kids in the community now at basketball, football and that. And one kid, he literally was playing basketball, mid-game, ran off the court to say hello to me.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
you've obviously left an impression with them, and, you know, You don't get into it to feel proud about things, but you can't help but be happy that these kids are succeeding, you know.
Well, a lot of the times we do highs and lows every night when we're there, and a lot of the times their highs or lows will be a connection with one of the mentors or with Terry.
Yeah.
And the major high at the end of it is that, building a relationship with other people that are from the same community, from the same streets as them, and then I'm just attacking the air from the same streets as them, and I don't know if that's a connection that we grew up in the same streets, and why they get along well with us and react to it like they don't treat us as school teachers or anything like that or authority. They just treat us as people trying to give them a hand, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And you start seeing that as the program goes on, and like you said, you get pretty chuffed with yourself by seeing that out in the open, and they're not disguising it in any way. They're not trying to be cool, or they're actually listening to you and trying to improve themselves. And a lot of them went on to work at a burrito bar, a business that me and Terry in, and since then have got other jobs and with more hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So out of them 8 kids, I think 7 of them are employed while still at school. So,
which is awesome.
Yeah, it was something that from January you wouldn't have thought would be happening.
And that's the current group going through.
That's the group we did last year, 2022.
Yeah.
And I think I'm dead.
Yeah, press your button. Just press start button. Oops.
Oh.
So this one here.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Press resume. Yeah. Oh, maybe you are dead. You were totally dead.
I felt like I knocked the heap out.
You did, but you also got knocked the fuck out. Oh, there you go. You're back.
And on a mission too.
Yeah,
look at that.
You got to cover yourself down. So I guess that's worth talking about too. Is the burrito bar? Like that's a restaurant that you and Terry are in on. In the Tuggeranong area. For those that don't know, Canberra and Queanbeyan, Tuggeranong's part of Canberra. It's on the south side of Canberra.
We let him in now.
Yeah, we pretend to get along with Canberra. You know. But yeah, so burrito bar, it's a Mexican restaurant that you quite often give those kids a chance at a job in and give them some experience.
Sure. So they started working there. Some of them before we even left for Larapinta.
Yeah.
So they were in there working, and then some of them claim to be the best dishwashers the hospitality's ever seen. But they do good.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and we've got a couple others in it. It's not just me and Tezza. So if you dislike us, you can still go there.
Still don't feel bad about supporting it. That's awesome.
Did you see that move I just did?
Yeah, I did. I'll pay you that one.
I don't know. I just pressed the same button heaps.
That's why I picked this game. I figured even you could play this.
You need G1 jockey. I was a gun at that when I was a kid.
Only you'd be a gun at a horse racing game.
They couldn't get near me.
So I guess the other thing to talk about is the Special Forces Challenge, which is, a primary reason we're doing the marathon this year, because we're helping someone in their quest to be brutalised for a weekend. Tell us about the Special Forces Challenge. You've been there, you've done it. How did it come about?
You probably most heard how it come about. Me and Tezza was big fans of the show with Ant Middleton.
Yep.
And we used to go to didn't see him. And we used to go to the gym every morning, and we'd get in the car and we'd be like, oh, did you see last night Sammy Burgess did this? I wouldn't do that, it's too high, or, a bit of nonsense, a bit of banter about it.
Yep.
And then I was like, imagine if we could do something locally, like something low key, obviously, not as high budget.
Yep.
And old Stupid looks at me, or I call him Stu, second cousin to Brad Pitt, looks at me and says, why not? Let's do it. And then literally the next day, Terry ran into Evelyn, who we went to school with.
Yeah.
And her husband just got out of the Special Forces, like the Australian Army Special Forces, and So the SAS challenge that we had in our head sort of went downhill because they refused to call themselves SAS because I think it's English, SAS, and Special Forces. Oh, I just keep getting knocked out. Not that time, though. And so they said it has to be Special Forces for them lads to do it. And then Dave rang his crew and the hands went up. So ex-Special Forces, current Special Forces, medics, all the high-ranking people all said yes. I think we had 8 commandos, or we call them commandos. They call themselves something different. They come down and put last year's, I think there was 22 recruits.
Yep.
And put them 30 hours and it pissed down rain.
That's all right. It's fine.
Pissed down rain for all night. It was that bad. Tez even said, look, we can walk back to my house and all sleep in the shed because it was hammering down.
Yeah.
Me and Terry had a tent with our swags in it.
Yeah.
One of the commandos leaving in their utes knocked it over and it flooded everything out. So we had nothing either. So we just had to sit at the fire with a blue tarp over our heads, just trying to dry our clothes on the fire and that. And then the next morning, the commandos turned back up, and a few of them didn't do the task that they had to do in the night.
Yeah.
And they got sent. They just got sent, and they pretty much, after doing like military based, like, you know, that up and down sort of stuff that they do, then they had to carry like one of them massive dressage ropes. If they watch this, they're going to give me stick for not remembering what it's called. You know the ropes they cheese?
Yes, yeah.
They had to carry 8 Ks.
Jesus.
Not allowed to put it down. And then when you're at the back, they yell out, change! And they run flying up. You've got to go to the front and you just keep rotating through for 8 Ks. So they just got sent after no sleep. It was pretty hard. But I don't want to give too much away because I know your next guest is doing it this year.
Yeah, he is. So, finally, last year, the whole Special Forces event raised something in excess of 240,000. There we go. So, and all that's going to the breaking the cycle programs, the training the kids, the getting them off. And this year, the plan is to go back to Kokoda, where it all started.
Where it started, yeah. So, it costs, depending where you go, like between like $5,000 and $7,000 a kid, plus your mentors. A few people come sponsors from the ball and that, which there'll be a link in this video.
Yes, we'll have links up, don't worry.
And so me and Terry had the goal of raising, like we thought, $25,000. Imagine that. That'd be pretty sick, like taking a few kids virtually for free. And then they got the 25 pretty quick. Not where it's going to like be 250,000.
Yeah.
But they got it like pretty quick. I'm like, imagine 60, and imagine 80, and then me and Terry were in Braidwood actually, and we're sitting at the club, and someone said, check your phones. And we checked our phones, and this was in January.
Yep.
Checked our phones in January, like 5th or something, and it hit 100,000. And then I pretended I had a phone call. So I pretended to walk out that way. He got up, left the table, went that way, and where we like went around, like trying to find the light because it was pretty dark at the bowling club, we bumped into each other.
Yeah.
He'll claim that I was crying, but I promise you he was crying.
Yeah, I'm sure
So
he
that
was.
was
I know
a-
Terry, he was crying 100%.
Yeah, so he'll say that I cried, but he definitely was crying.
Yeah.
I get hay fever.
Yeah.
And then, so that was in January, and the event was on in the 26th of February.
Yeah.
So in 4 weeks, they raised over 100,000 with last year's recruits in the last 4 weeks.
It was insane, and being at the ball and watching how keen everyone was and how excited everyone was about how successful the whole event was. Yeah, it was something else. It really was, and I just hope that this year's even close to that. It's going to be.
Oh, that's right.
You know?
I actually told the commandos that if they don't raise 300,000, give it to them.
Awesome. All right, we might leave it there. Thank you for joining me, Jeremy. It's been wonderful to have you here. Always welcome around. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you head over to player2.net.au. Check out our news, reviews, previews. You can find all the information on the event. It's on the 28th of January. We'll be having it here. We're going to be playing games for 24 hours. We're raising money for the foundation and for one of our future interviews. So we're going to be doing that. We've got a ton of prizes. The Australian games community has come once again, they've given me boxes. I've got boxes over here full of games and shit to give away. It's amazing. Ubisoft, EA, Xbox, PlayStation, Devolver. We've got a whole bunch of people. Sega. There's all these games to give away. We're going to talk about getting some big prizes too, maybe a console or two. We're still working on that, but I'm hoping to come through there. And, every donation of $5 or more will get you an entry into that prize. Last event, we raised over $5,000, so we're hoping to beat that. And we can only do that with your help. So make sure you head over to the links, donate, go and a chance to win some great prizes, and, help these kids change their lives and see that there's a better future out there for them. And I think that's the importance of it all. Catch you next time, and make sure you catch over at Player 2 for everything else we do.
Thanks, guys. Make sure you donate.
See ya.